Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I am doing well. It is midsummer already. I cannot believe it. July 17th, I believe to be exact. And so, yeah, how has your guys' summer been? It has been hot and dry here. And we were just now getting into the low 50s in the morning, and then this morning it was 37 degrees. So I don't know. We are surrounded by forest fires everywhere. I'll see if I can pop in a picture of the fire map right now, but it's just like the wind's blowing and the smoke now, and it's just the reality of living in Oregon in the summer. So anyway, today I am taking advantage of being inside. I am doing an inventory of my canning stuff. I like to do this halfway through the year anyway. It's good for you to get out your jars, wipe the dust off them, make sure that they're still sealed. I have run into the past that I go to grab things and the lid literally just comes right off of my hand. So I always just like to make sure that I have nothing molding or rotting in the back of my cabinet. And then also it gives me a chance to take inventory of what I need to replace as we're in fresh produce season. I don't particularly like to buy produce out of season. If I don't have to. I know that we do the best we can. I usually stick to buying frozen produce in the winter, or I rely on my canned food just because I like local produce and I like to get the most out of my produce. So that's kind of why I just push so hard to get that stuff on my shelf. Unfortunately, this year I don't think I have the room to fill all my hopes and dreams of canning. I'm still thankful though, because last year I canned nothing but tuna and salmon, and I did can stuff at my brother's. I used his kitchen, so I take that back. I did can. But if you didn't know, we sold our home in the Willamette Valley. We moved into our RV, and until we could find the right property for us, because the housing market, if you're at all involved in watching it, it's been fun. So we did finally find a home in Central Oregon in the high desert. We've lived here before and absolutely loved it. So we found some property in January, and so I have just been like full bore excited for this canning season. So anyway, I thought I would just pop on here, and I figured I would bring you along and kind of show you what's on my shelves and what's on my wish list for the summer. I made a list of all my hopes and dreams. I made a list, not necessarily, I have lists of, like beans. I would like to do beans. I have tons of beans that need to be used. So I have like a lot of soups and stuff that I want to get done, but that's something that can be done in the fall, right? So right now I'm just focusing on the fresh produce as it's becoming available here off the farms in Oregon. So the green beans and cucumbers are first on my list because that's what's available. And I'm going to be just doing refrigerator pickles with the cucumbers. Like I mentioned in the last video, I just don't like the texture of canned pickles. We still eat them, but I would just rather do a bunch of refrigerator pickles. They last up to 3 months in your fridge. And then once we run out of those, I can just go back to buying the refrigerator ones at the store. So, but my husband did request relish. So I do need a lot of pickling cucumbers to make relish. So watch that. That's coming up probably in the next week or two. And then I do want to do banana peppers again. I canned those last year and they're gone. Like they were gone months ago. So I need to double that this year. I'm going to do hot sauce at some point. Again, that's something that could be done late in the summer, because I know, you know, there's different recipes. I just need to research that, but I just have it there under kind of the pepper. And then I'm probably going to can more pickled jalapenos. We'll see what I have here in a minute. And then we're going to jump into tomato season. I'm going to do salsa, even though I have a lot of salsa, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And then I'm going to do green enchilada sauce because we love that. And then I just noticed when I was digging out all my protein that I only have 1 jar of tomato soup left. So I'll probably add tomato soup to the list there, because it's so much better with like those fresh off the vine tomatoes. And then I might do peach salsa this year. That's the only thing I think I'm gonna do with peaches. We just don't eat canned peaches in our family. It's just never been on my shelf. My mom and I canned them a few years ago and we enjoyed them at that point, but we're just not canned peach people. So I do have a bourbon peach jam jelly that I like, that I don't think I have anything left of that. I might do that. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. We don't eat a lot of jam here or jelly. We're not a big sweet people. So I don't see a reason to have it on my shelf if we're not going to eat it through it. And I'd rather put the time and effort into something that I know that we'll love, like the Marionberry jam. I also love blackberry jam, and I think I'm down low on my blackberry jam too. But in the Willamette Valley, it grows like it's weeds, right? Here, no blackberries. So I don't think I'll get them. I don't like buying them from the store. The blackberries that come from the store are awful. If you've ever had a fresh blackberry off the vine, you know what I'm talking about. So, I'm getting off course here. And then I might do some pickled beets. Fall, I'm looking at pumpkins, sweet potatoes, and potatoes. I know pumpkin is unsafe practice to can pureed pumpkin, but you can chunks of pumpkin, and I use it in my dog food, so it's fine. I just throw everything in a slow cooker and it cooks down, and I take the immersion blender to it anyway, so I'm not concerned about the integrity of the texture of the pumpkin. And then cranberries are grown here on our coast in Oregon. So that's kind of on my wish list, but we'll see. All right, less chatty, and I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at. All right, so I just thought I would start with proteins and grab them all out, check all their caps, wipe them down. But this is what I have left of tuna. Last September, my brother got a bunch of tuna off the docks and we canned that all up. That is not a fun thing to can. I don't see that in my future for this year because I still have canning tuna trauma from last year I'm trying to recover from. It is good. I love tuna. Tuna is definitely a staple in my house. But I'll just go back to buying canned tuna until the trauma wears off and I can do that again. Another fun find I found in the corners of the back of my pantry was the smoked salmon. I thought that I was out of this. In fact, last time I went to my brother's, he was moving and I was trying to bum some smoked salmon off of him and he told me he didn't have any more. Now, he could have been fibbing because I wouldn't want to give it up either. But I don't know. I would like to can more of this. It's just the fact of getting it from the coast and getting it over here. So I don't know. I'm sure my brother will have some salmon fishing trips coming up and maybe we can connect and I can get that done. And then you saw we made the baked beans in the last video. I didn't get these closed out on the video because I was tired. My husband got home, wanted dinner, you know how that goes. But we've already gone through 2 jars of these. I ended up with 4, and these are amazing, like absolutely amazing. And so this should be good for the rest of the summer. I don't plan on probably making any more of these. We'll see. but if I get bored, I might. And then this is just my chicken broth I just did too. This is always on my shelf. I use it in my dog food. So I usually make this once a month. And I did find that I had a can from May back in my cupboard. So I'm glad that I found that, so we can get that pulled out and I can use that next. But anyway, that is my protein right now. I plan on getting more beans, lots of beans. We eat lots of beans. So that's coming up soon. And then maybe some ground chicken. Not ground chicken, shredded chicken. I do love having canned chicken on my shelf. It's great for enchiladas, casseroles, when you are making quick recipes that are dump and go, and you don't want to have to pre-cook chicken. It's great to have on your shelf. I don't have a lot of room, and I have lots more freezer room, so that might not be a reality for this year, but if I find some chicken like at a really good price, I'll probably buy it up, throw it in the freezer, and then at some point I can can it. So I do have a video on that. I think it's called like canning the whole chicken or something, if you want to watch how to do that. But it has been a fantastic thing to have on my shelf. So, all right, I'm going to finish getting these cleaned up and then we'll move on to the next bit. Next up, I just pulled out my basic vegetables. Well, this one, we'll talk about that in a minute. But so I do only have 2 jars of pickled jalapenos, so I'm definitely leaving that on the list because we probably eat a jar a month, I would say, and they're cheap. Jalapenos are pretty cheap in season, so I'll probably definitely do that. Next up, I have 1 jar of pickled onions left, and I won't be canning any more of these. My sister loves these and so I canned these with her, and she loves them, and it's a texture thing for me. I'm not a big onion person anyway. I'll eat them. They don't like me, okay? I like onions. Onions don't like me, and so I just stick to the refrigerator pickling them. In fact, I need to pickle some more because the jar is getting low, but that's just what I do. Kind of like the pickled or carrots. I don't know. Some things it's just a texture for me, but nevertheless, they're easy to do. Next I have the pickled carrots that we canned together. I have 5 of those. I have not tried these yet. I just kind of wanted to leave them on the shelf to kind of marinate a little bit. I might open a jar this next week, maybe on this with some tuna on the side. I think that would make some great lunches. And then I had the 3 jars of pickled green beans, and as you see, they did settle, so I forgot about that. It's been so long since I've done green beans. In fact, I have 1 jar left of green beans, and I canned them in August of 2025. So definitely this is something that we go through. My husband loves canned green beans, and I do too. They're good. And then I have 1 thing of potatoes left. And this one was from July of 24. It was shoved back there. I kind of knew it was there, but I need to use this because I just don't like things sitting on my shelf for over a year if they don't have to. There's no reason why food should be sitting on my shelf. And then I also found a lonely zucchini relish, and this one is from 2024 too. And it's funny because I canned this last summer and I didn't know I had one from 2024, so this just got lost. I will not be doing this year. It's not my husband's favorite, and I don't eat enough of it to make it reasonable. My brother does love it, and I share it with him. And in fact, last year when I made it, I gave him most of everything I made. But I do enjoy it. It's full of wonderful nutrients and different veggies. I have a video on that, one of my older ones. But it is a good product. It's just not something I'm going to take up room for on my shelf. This year I'm going to try just doing the regular sweet or dill relish. I'm not sure yet. So that's it for the basic veggies. Next up are all my tomato products. It's still a lot. Oh, I pulled it out and I'm like, why do I have salsa on my list of canned? Oh, and what else did I put on for tomatoes? Salsa, oh, green enchilada sauce. Okay, that's different. We're going to use tomatillos for that. That doesn't count. And then tomato soup. So I have one tomato soup left. My mom was storing a bunch of my canned stuff, and I don't know what I need to find out, because at some point we need to connect. Because stuff's been there a while and it needs to get eaten up if there's anything left of mine. But she's allergic to tomatoes, so I know she wouldn't eat this, because I'm fine with her eating my stuff. You know, I want her to eat it, but this was amazing. And I don't think I did I do a video on this? I don't know. But I definitely, it's something I don't eat very often just because of the acidity. It's something I would have for lunch, but I'd add a little, maybe a little half and half to it, make it a little creamier, and it's really good. So the recipe I had only made like 5 jars, I think. So nothing that's too extravagant. And then I have 1 jar left of my homemade tomato sauce. And I'm not going to be canning any more of this, because over here I have a ton of pizza sauce. So we just don't eat it as fast as I thought we would. And this was from September of 24 when I canned this. I did a video on this, I'm pretty sure. But it was very time consuming. But I'm thinking to get this used up quicker, because we just, like I said, we just don't eat a lot of heavy tomato products on, like, maybe monthly. In fact, tonight I think I'm going to make a pasta dish. But typically we're just not making spaghetti once a week. It's like once a month. So I'm thinking I'll just take a couple of these jars, add in a jar of diced tomatoes to kind of dilute the heaviness of this, because it's, you know, it's a little thicker than regular marinara sauce. So that's what my plans are to work through. That is to not purchase any more tomato or, you know, pasta sauce, use up what I have, and we'll reevaluate that next year. So, and then next was corn salsa. I had like 3 cases of this. I just got bored one day, and I just decided to make corn salsa. And we weren't really super happy with the end product. I don't know. I used the frozen corn from Costco. I just didn't like how, I don't know, there's just like a back taste that's not very pleasant, as in just eating it with a chip, say that. But I love dumping this in the crock pot with chicken and making like what's that salsa chicken recipe, or like throwing it in a taco soup. This is a great product. Add a thing of black beans, you got a meal. So we have been working through that. I canned this back in May of 2025. So like I said, I think I had like 3 cases, and I'm working my way down on that. I'm not going to be doing any more of that anytime soon. And then this poor salsa, I really hope my mom does not have any more of this. We'll see. This I canned in September 2024. It was my video that said like I canned 40 some cans or jars of salsa or something. But I went off and tried a recipe for salsa that I never made before. I did go with my gut and use the one I always use, and it had so many onions. I don't know if you can see. Can you see all those onions? It's like an onion salsa. And like I said before, me and onions have this relationship that we kind of stay away from each other. But again, I use this in the same way as I use the corn salsa. I think I used this and I made chili through this and made chili, just added that to it. That way I'm not wasting and I'm finding a way to use it. Now the salsa I do love. Last year I make it every year, and I over blended it because I couldn't find my food processor, so I had to use a blender, and so it's very runny, but it's actually been good. It's kind of like a restaurant style, and so I definitely plan on making this again. This is just a lot fresher. It's not an approved recipe, I don't think, so I probably won't share that. I just cold pack it. Most recipes with salsa, you have to cook the tomatoes, and that's what I don't like about it. Is I just make regular salsa like pico that we'd eat fresh, and I'm just canning it up. You know, I'm adding the vinegar, I'm making it safe, but I just don't know. I'd have to look to see if I could find a recipe. I might look on the website for, what is it, the agricultural one, and see if they have something similar to this and try it out. But anyway, that's my favorite one. So that is all my tomato products that I have left. Quite a bit. We're almost done. You know, this would be easier like in my old days when I had that beautiful rack in my garage where I could just have everything displayed beautifully, but you know what, we do what we can, and if we have to hide things under our bed or in a closet, that's how we make things work. It's okay. Not everything can be aesthetically beautiful. The most important thing is nutrition for your families. So this is all my sweet stuff. Still quite a bit. I think I worked my way through jam. A couple years ago, my mom and I just went like on a jam spree. And it was kind of my first getting into canning seriously. You know, if you want to learn to can, starting with jam is a great place to do it. So she may have more, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to touch base with her. But I have one. I did a jalapeno strawberry jam. I have one of those left. I did a video on apple butter. I have one of these. I'm thinking I did quite a few of these. So I know I've given a lot of this stuff away, especially when we moved. I kind of just offloaded a lot of this type of things to my coworkers and family. But I felt like I still have some apple butter left, but I don't plan on doing this again this year because I think I have some more, but we'll see. I do enjoy that. Strawberry honey butter, that turned out good. I have one blackberry jam left. I have a video on that. One of my favorites, as I said before. And then my mom had canned up some huckleberries from the coast. So that's where she lives. And so I have one huckleberry jam that I've just been kind of, like my blackberries, they're my precious. And then I have the Marionberry jam that I just canned. I need to get that labeled or I'll forget. I have 2 of the apple blueberry sauces left. I'm not a big applesauce person, so I won't be canning any more of this up this year. This will be fine for this winter. And then I have 2 of the barbecue sauces that I just canned on the last video. And then I have 3 of the cowboy candy marinades left, and these are from 2023, so I need to use these. This is what's left after you can your cowboy candy. You cook it in this marinade, and then you jar it up, and then at the end you have a lot of this. Always save this because you can use this for chicken marinade, all kinds of things I've used this for. We just went on a cowboy candy. I purchased too many jalapenos. Okay, that's what it is. And so I'm down to 4 jars, and this was ones that my mom had offloaded on me too. So I'm definitely going to make, I have a recipe, a cowboy candy barbecue sauce. I'm definitely going to be turning this into barbecue sauce at some point this year. And then I'm still on the fence about cowboy candy. It's so good. And it's a great thing to give as gifts. People love it. You can have it on, we have it on everything. Hamburgers, chicken, cheese. It's really good over cream cheese with crackers. I make it in like my salmon dip. But we just kind of got burnt out on it because I had so much of it. So I'm still on the fence about that. Well, I'll ask my husband what he thinks because he is the hot guy. He likes, well, he likes anything spicy. So, and then I did the apple pie. I still have quite a bit of that left because I did that as a spring project. And we made an apple pie, and it was the most my husband said it was the most delicious apple pie he's ever had. So I'm definitely going to be using this up this fall. I think this would be great over yogurt or anything like that. I think it's just great to have on the shelf too. If you know someone that you want to take a pie to, you know, someone's been ill or had surgery or has had a baby, or just to give a pie as a gift or take to a function. It's just nice to have this on your shelf. You just dump it in a pie crust and bake it and it's ready to go. So can't say enough about how much I like this product, even though it looks like I still have quite a bit left. But okay, that is it for that. I think all I have left is my soups and stews, which is not much. All right, folks, and last up is my sad but good. Basically, I call these like meals in a jar. This is all I have left is my chicken. I call it a chicken stew, or it's a chicken pot pie starter in the recipe books usually. But what I do is just, I throw this in a pot and I throw in noodles or rice. You can add more veggies and if you want to bulk it up, but I love this. But if I did a video on this, and I also did beef stew, which is my husband's like all-time favorite meal. He'll eat that in the winter every day of the week. That is long gone. So this is what's left. And I have plenty of plans to do much, much more of these meals in a jar. With just the two of us, it's just nice to have something that you can go to for lunch. Or you can add, I like to do them in the pint jars. But if we do it for the both of us, if I'm making one meal, I'll just open up 2 jars, not a big deal. Sometimes I do quarts. I do have a really good white bean chicken chili recipe that I'll do in the quart jars because it's really good as leftovers too. And so I want to do more beef stew, the white bean chicken chili. I think I'm going to try my hand at making split pea soup. I love split pea soup. And I think I have a whole list of things because I really wanted to kind of go bean forward. I have a bunch of those 16 bean soup mixes that I want to do. I'll probably do more chili because those are good to have on the shelf for lunches on the weekend. So yeah, I have lots of ideas for meals in a jar that is going to be added to the shelf this year. So look forward to those videos. If you have any good recipes that you know of that you enjoy, drop me a link or tell me what cookbook or canning book it came out of. And I pretty much have every canning book. It's kind of a problem. But you know what? We all need some sort of hobby, right? But okay, that's it. I'm going to get the rest of my pantry, wipe out all my shelves and get everything put back and organized. And then before this is over, remind me to take me out and take you out and show you what my garden's doing before I close out this video. All right, here is the official garden tour of my sad, sad little garden, but you know what? It's something. So these are all my potatoes. They're actually doing pretty good. You can see here where the 30 degrees temperatures kind of burnt their tips a little bit, but they're actually thriving pretty well. These are all Yukons that I just got from Trader Joe's that went to seed. And then these two back here are 2 russets that I had that went to seed. So still have a ways to go, but they're coming along. And then over here are my turnips. Those were also from seed. And then these are my radishes. And you can see there some color. They are about ready to go. The germination on these were 22 days. All right, let me take you over and show you my other. This is where things start to get a little sad. All right. So that's my basil. And I moved these into the shade because they were just too full. The sun here is just too much. So they get shade in the morning and then they get shade at night. But these are my green beans. You can see where they were frosted, and so they're kind of coming out of it. This one is the contender, and then I had a top crop dye there, a blue lake dye there, and then this one is starting to come out of it too. What was this one? A blue lake. And then this one's doing really, really good. In fact, if you can see down there, there's little beans coming, little blooms. This one was, let's see, contender. So the contenders seem to be doing well. And that's why I did like a couple, I did 3 different types just to test. That one was a top crop. I don't know if that one's gonna make it in time before freezing temperatures, but it seems like the contender, I don't know why I'm out of breath. The contender is the one that seems to be doing the best. And then this poor guy, I just picked him up. He was like 75% off, and I probably should clip that, but he's starting to do better. This is my cucumber. We'll see. I might have to up pot him, but I don't know. I had to do something, and so this is where we're at. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining me today on, I guess I'm gonna call it my midsummer pantry and garden tour. We got my pantry cleaned out. We got to see where I'm at on at this point in the year, what I need to can, what I want to can, what I need to can. And then you also got to finally see my poor little garden all in all her glory. But this year is about learning a new environment as far as gardening and canning at this elevation. You know, obviously we're still getting freezes in July. So anyway, it's all learning. Every day is learning, right? Until the day we die. So on that note, I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you next video, which is probably going to be canning green beans or cucumbers. So anyway, enough chatting. I'll see you next time on Mountain View Life. Bye, friends.